Ladies, gentlemen, and all you beautiful people in between, my name is Strife Knight, and welcome to the UmaMusume Iceberg. You already know the drill with these types of videos, so let's just jump right into it. Number 1. The characters are all based on real-life horses. That's right, each character here is based on real-life horses, and I thought it would be fun to go over some of them and compare the fun that they do. Alright, listen, I'm gonna do you a solid and tell you that I know that you know what UmaMusume is if you're clicking on a video like this. So why don't we just slash the upper half of the iceberg and focus on all the material? Sound good? Yeah? Cool! The UmaMusume and the movie Beginning of a New Era. There's a TV compilation in which real-life comedian Shinji Saito makes a cameo where he voices himself. Directly after the movie's release, however, he was convicted of a 20-year-old woman. This wasn't his only appearance in the franchise, however, as he appeared at the end of Season 3. In both cases, he did his famous joke, where, he says the word yes. He also made a minor appearance in the game, in which he appeared alongside the other members of his comedy group Jungle Pocket, which was named after the horse. This scene was actually an event in Jungle Pocket's SR Speed support card, where she alongside Agnes Tachyon visit to watch him perform, as Jungle Pocket states that this group is her favorite, and Tachyon seems to enjoy them as well. Shinji Saito was also a horse owner, owning Omatsu Shimashita, one of Jungle Pocket's children, who appeared in Beginning of a New Era as one of Jungle Pocket's friends, named Shima. I said it once before, and I'll say it again. This guy. Not only for what he committed, but because of the fact he was featured so prominently and cameoed so much, side games probably wouldn't want to include cameos of random people anymore because they didn't want to risk another incident like him. So, there goes Shinji Saito, ruining a young woman's life, and then ruining a unique part of UmaMusume for the rest of us. Ines Fujin's owner. In an episode of Umayan, Ines Fujin goes out to a beef bowl restaurant alongside Major McQueen, Fine Motion, and King Halo. 3 rich girls that unfortunately leave the episode with a dark implication. In February of 1998, Ines Fujin's owner, Masaki Kobayashi, himself after eating a beef bowl. He did this alongside 2 other large businessmen in a group. The reason for which is that all 3 of them owned companies which sold car parts, and all of them were faced with financial ruin. Kobayashi left a note asking his life insurance money be used to save his company, which ended up declaring bankruptcy 2 days later. Customers of the restaurant were among the last to see them alive, and commented that it did stick out as odd that 3 sharply dressed men went to such a place and ordered the most basic meal for takeaway. Now, you can kind of see with how in-depth UmaMusume gets with its references sometimes that the idea of 3 rich horse girls going out to beef bowl restaurant can come off like an elaborate dark jokes from the writers, especially with Ines Fujin being there. But it was actually about how Major McQueen's jockey, Yutaka Take, had never gone out to beef bowl restaurant before until he was taken to one for an interview, all due to him being born into wealth. A much more lighthearted reference. The Axe Murder of Season 3. During Episode 5 of Pretty Derby Season 3, an interview takes place featuring Durmente and Airgroove, but after a mishap, the video feed cuts off and displays a very nice looking boat. This is an anime reference to the masterpiece of our generation, School Days, in which the final episode contained gruesome scenes of schoolgirls killing each other. But on the day of the scheduled airing of the episode, a 16-year-old girl her father's with an axe, causing the channel to instead air stock footage of a Norwegian ferry boat, which became a meme on 4chan. The boat in the UmaMusume episode is red instead of blue. What a wild reference. Welcome back to the Fan Art Spotlight. Today's submission was sent in by Thorn, who has this to say. Thorn! You know, in Thorn language that translates to support Strife Knight on Patreon and become a channel member today. Find out how you can submit your own fan art by following the link post below. And remember to subscribe. Now, back to the video. Harurara was horse-napped. I've mentioned plenty of these facts in previous videos, but I actually have a whole video on this one subject, which I'll link in the description for you to watch, if you can stomach the outdated narration. But to summarize, at the tail end of Harurara's career, a crazy lady by the name of Mihoko Anzai used her goodwill and fame in the horse racing scene to make Harurara's current owners transfer ownership to her free of charge. Once Harurara's retirement was planned, Anzai, alongside 7 others, kidnapped Harurara at the dead of night in September of 2004. To which Anzai proceeded to hide Urara while using her name to sell merchandise, tours, and make deals and false promises, to which she would make a lot of fraudulent money from. Anzai would keep at this for about 9 years. All throughout, she would hide Harurara away from her trainer, Daimonichi. Harurara would finally be found in 2013, abandoned by Anzai alongside Hishiandes, Hishiyama's own son. in Martha Farm, where they would be taken care of. Harurara would stay at Martha Farm for the next 12 years, until she passed away at the age of 29 due to natural causes. Dansu Flame's owner. Tetsuji Yamamoto was a man who desired the ownership of a son of Brian's time above anything else. And it would just so happen that Dansu Flame was the only horse available at the time who would fit such a criteria. Yamamoto was disappointed due to the fact that Dansu Flame was seen as ugly, and had quite a meek temperament, but bought him anyway because there was no other option. This negligence from the owner would come to a head at the end of Dansu Flame's career, where he retired due to a bowed tendon, but due to many factors was not able to become a breeding stallion. For this, Yamamoto decided to just wait until Dansu Flame recovered just enough so that he could put him up to dirt racing, where Dansu Flame would undergo a long losing streak over the course of 2 years. And when that was over, Yamamoto tried to sell him as a riding horse, but was rejected due to the fact he was practically worked half to death, and the poor horse was left in absolutely terrible condition. It was then found that Dansu Flame had a terminal illness, as severe pneumonia was considered uncurable at the time. After a harsh life, Dansu Flame passed away at 7 years old. North Korean Sakura Bakushin O. Bakushin is quite popularly associated with North Korea, and you particularly might have come across this video.
경애하는 심동지께서는 힘의 위력을 다시 한번 똑똑히 인식시키게 될 것입니다.
There are basically two reasons for this. Firstly, is that Sakura Commerce, which owns the Sakura horses, was founded by Korean immigrants after World War II, and it was known that they held a very pro-North Korean stance. Secondly, Sakura Bakushin O's name was commonly Koreanified by fans from the country, as simply Park Shin-o. With these two aspects combined, Bakushin gained the reputation that she did, as being the #1 Korean UmaMusume. Dawa Scarlet's owner. Lastly, here's a rumor that I wanted to debunk. One that has plagued the community for so long that even I believed it at one point. It's the idea that Dawa Scarlet's owner specifically demanded side games to make her design more popular than Vodka's and to ensure that she would have bigger boobs. Putting aside the fact that asking for a design to be more popular is nonsensical, the whole thing of Dawa Scarlet and Vodka having a rivalry never extended to their owners, and was entirely a fan perception which was leaned into for marketing. There's really no basis for this claim, and the only evidence being that Dawa Scarlet's design is indeed more popular than Vodka's, which doesn't really amount to anything. If you want me to turn this video into a series because you enjoyed it, leave a like and hype and share and comment and all that stuff. For now, I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters, and special shoutouts to Maddie from the Duke tier. Thank you. Thank you very much.